Hi guys, and welcome to another episode of Creeps, Creatures, and Haunts.
Oh my.
In today's episode, we are going to be talking about a recent investigation that I was not part of because I had to work. Kim she'd won it through like a Facebook group, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Where was it?
It's in Middle Point, Ohio.
Middle Point, Ohio.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, since it was so last minute, I could not get it off work, so Kim had to go by herself. It was like a 3-hour drive, too, so it wasn't...
It's kind of scary.
Yeah, it wasn't super close, but, she went, and, yeah, it sounded like it was an interesting experience, so we didn't really have anything else planned for this week's podcast. So we're like, well, we're going to talk about that and some of the experiences and all of that. Before we get started with all of that, before Kim kind of starts taking the floor here, and I like, almost be like I'll be interviewing almost. I don't know. It'll be interesting since, you were there and not me. But yes, make sure that you like and subscribe, ring the bell, do all of that stuff, because again, close to haunt season. So if you're just listening to this in podcast form, we also, of course, do haunted house reviews, of the Halloween variety.
Yes.
We don't review actual haunted places. We do go to them, of course, as today's episode entails.
This place had no ghosts, 0 stars.
0 stars. Would not recommend. But yeah. So make sure you're looking out for that. If you're just listening to the podcast, go over there so you can actually see some of the cool, creepy places. Today, before filming this, we went to Warner Swayze Observatory.
Yeah.
So that should be on the channel. I don't know. It'll be before or after this. It'll be before, because this will, if you're listening to the podcast, it'll be on the same day. If you're watching the video form of this podcast, it'll be on Friday, because I think that's when I feel like uploading that video. And it sounds like I want to do that. All right. But yes. So, yeah, go ahead and... give us a rundown of the place, what exactly the place was, and why it's supposed to be spooked.
Well, so this thing was, I honestly had forgotten about it, but my friend Sean, who I've actually investigated a couple times with, he was doing a charity event for a fellow investigator who just discovered he had cancer. And so they wanted to raise some funds for him. And so they decided to get this location going, and they had like a bunch of raffles and a bunch of other stuff. Well, one of the things they were doing was on Facebook, they were asking people to share the event to drum up businesses and, to drum up ticket sales. So I shared it, and I didn't even think of it after, I totally forgot about it. And then I saw that he was doing a live thing, and he's like, oh, yeah, this is for the raffle for free tickets to the event. And I'm like, oh, yeah, that was one of the things. If you like and share this, your name's going to get put into this raffle. Well, there was only like 6 of us that actually shared it, which honestly, that's kind of sad. But most of us got free tickets or some sort of prize, which was nice. Really nice. But yeah, I won 2 free tickets and a solo session because they were selling solo sessions for $10. Yeah, I'll get to that in a minute.
I didn't actually, that's funny.
So he's laughing because, yeah, he helped me listen to this stuff, and yeah, it was kind of, anyway.
Well, I'm not laughing. I'm laughing because the fact that it's like, oh, your prize is you get to be alone in a dark room and talk to spirits. What a prize.
Well, because they were selling solo sessions for people to do an investigation by themselves for like an amount of time. Like, I think it was like 10 minutes in a location. They would block it off and stuff like that. Excuse me. So I won that. And then I realized it's this weekend.
Yeah.
So, of course, I message him. I'm like, hey, you want to go to this thing? And he's like, I work all weekend. Boo. So then I go down the line of all my paranormal friends. Everybody has to work. And I'm like, okay, well, I really want to go to this thing just because it's a new location. It hasn't really been investigated all that much. And I'd like to check it out. So I then discovered that it's like, yeah, it's 3 hours away.
Yeah.
It's literally in the middle of nowhere. Like, it in the boonies. It was really in the boonies. Like, I saw so much corn. I don't want to see any more corn. But it was an interesting event. There was only probably maybe like 20 people there. They did have a raffle to win investigations at other places. They also had prizes like autographs from like Nick Groff and psychic readings from certain psychic mediums, things like that. There was a lady there that I'm assuming she's just a professional raffle winner because she did win a lot of raffles. But she it was all for charity, so it went for a good cause and stuff like that, and she deserves it because she bought like a ton of tickets. I bought like 6. I'm like, I want to support it, but I don't have a lot of money on me, so let me buy some tickets. But they provided us with food and pop and water. And what they did is they split us up into 3 groups, and each group had about like 8 or 9 people in it, I want to say, and maybe a little less than that. But we went to different floors. It's Middle Point School. It used to be actually an old seminary, and now and then it was a school, and it was closed in like the 90s, I believe. And now the guy that owns it wants to convert it into a community center, and he's got all these old arcade games. The ones that really interested me, though, he had some old fascination games. If you're familiar with these games, they used to have them at like Jogga Lake. I think Cedar Point even used to have them too, where you roll the ball and they go into the little holes and they always like drop like real like weird and stuff like that. You get like points, or something lights up on the back screen and you have to get like a bingo kind of thing, or you have to get like a straight flush or things like that. So he has a bunch of those games, a bunch of arcade games and things like that, and I thought that was really cool.
So is that what a seminary is? Is it a school that prepares students to be priests, ministers, or rabbis?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
That's what a seminary is. So that's what it originally was, and it actually had a 3rd floor on it and a steeple. Unfortunately, that burnt down. I don't remember the cause of it, but the 3rd floor did burn down, and the steeple.
Why are there so many seminaries that are haunted?
I don't know. I feel like maybe they're not doing what they're supposed to be doing.
Well, Madison Seminary had been like a lot of other things too.
Yeah. So then it was a school for a while, and it was interesting. But yeah, we split up into 3 groups. So one group went down to the basement, one group stayed on the ground floor, and one group went on the 2nd floor. And we had a few good, interesting things. Josh will probably put in here. There is we were upstairs in the room that they called the dark room, and we were asking questions and trying to do EVP and stuff. And early in the session, I was doing my dowsing rods, and we were getting interactions. But we were sitting there and we asked a question, and we heard 2 distinct knocks. And thankfully, I wasn't the only one that heard it.
Yeah, no, they were because that's one of we haven't went through all of the files yet. If there are more EVPs that are caught, we will insert them somewhere within this podcast listen to. But yeah, I will definitely insert the knock, because that, we've already determined. And I feel like, obviously I wasn't there, but they were very clear.
Mm-hmm. Is Paul in here? The knock? Is Paul in here?
And it was an interesting area. That one was called the dark room, and then the next room over was the mirror room, which just basically had just a giant mirror in there. It wasn't anything whatever. So then we went down to the 1st floor, and we were in the gymnasium, and there was a guy there named Austin who had a ITC device, which was basically like a really souped up version of a ghost box, where you actually had to like tune it in order to get it to like be clear. But there was stuff coming through there, and it was actually kind of interesting. at one point we were talking to somebody who apparently usually is down in the basement. But I guess he's Hispanic and he speaks Spanish, and that's what was coming through the box. He was responding in Spanish.
We haven't listened to those yet, but yeah, we'll probably insert a couple instances here.
Yeah.
Because you had to have caught it since it was coming through that.
Mm-hmm. And then lastly, we went down to the basement, which was your typical gross, smelly basement. It did remind me very much of Lime.
Okay.
Like that kind of basement. I'm like, oh my God, this smells exactly like Lime.
Which, unfortunately, there's never probably going to, there never will be an episode of Lime on the channel because it has owners that they live there now, right? There's people that straight up live in there now.
Yeah.
So we won't be able to investigate it. However, if you are interested in the place, we made a movie a couple of years back, 2, 3, 4, 5 years back, it's like 3 or 4.
Yeah.
That is based around that and loosely based around the hauntings. And it is on the channel. It's called The Haunting of Lime.
I play a psychic medium.
Charlotte was your name, I think.
Charlotte.
Yeah.
He's in it too, but just for a hot second.
Oh God, I forgot that I forgot that there's
if you can find him.
Well, I don't.
Let us know.
I don't know if anyone would be able. Anyways, yeah.
Yeah. So Lime was a really cool place, and this kind of reminded me of it, just because of the spirits. Like there was some children spirits, there was some crotchety old people, there was like a pedophile of some sort, and your typical stuff. At the end of the night, they did everybody's solo runs. So for $10, you could do a solo run in either it originally started off, you were going to do it in the basement. Well, I didn't like the basement, and I didn't want to be down there. I was like, I don't want to be down there. First off, it just smelled grody, and I was just like, no, thank you. Or you could do it any other place you wanted to. And then for $10 more, you could wear the ghost helmet, which was this device. And
it's funny to me. So all this stuff went to charity, though.
Yes, it all went to this family.
I find it funny. Yeah. It's almost like an upcharge attraction. Like if you go to like Cedar Point or something, it's like, if you want to ride this ride, then you guys pay extra.
Yeah, but
if you want to go to the dark room by yourself and wear a rear-wear helmet, But
like,
since it's for charity,
everything was donated
okay
though.
Yeah, I'm okay with it since it's for that. But I just
it was nice because like everything was donated, like all the food and the pop and everything was donated.
Yeah, that's good.
So every single thing they made from this event went to the family.
Right.
Went to this guy who was suffering from cancer.
Yeah, which I'm totally supportive of that. I'm not supportive of haunts that, they...
Yeah. Oh.
Specifically, like...
Yeah.
They understand that it's a high-demand place, so they charge out the butt,
or those,
to investigate.
Those ghost tour people that charge, like, $20 more than what it is normally to go to an investigation at locations. And they're like, oh, that's our upcharge and stuff. It's like, yeah, no, you're pocketing that money. Like...
Right. And
it's ridiculous.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with making like money off of something like that,
especially
if you're on location, you're maintaining it, but I just find it funny how
But if you don't, like if you're just like
some people will just really like I don't know, it feels sleazy how some of the places go about it. Because I don't know, but
So, this ghost helmet was this big thing, and it actually kind of made you look like Optimus Prime. It had like these shields and stuff like that. I didn't wear it. So this ghost helmet is supposed to enhance, it sends waves to your brain, and it's supposed to enhance your psychic abilities. Because everybody has psychic abilities. It's just a matter of like, if you use them or you embrace them or whatever. Well, this is supposed to like heighten that ability to communicate or see spirits or sense it. So some people did pay the extra money and use the ghost helmet, and I didn't feel comfortable wearing it. Just not even for just it being a homemade kind of thing. It's that I just don't want to mess with that kind of. I don't want to manipulate this more than it already is. Like I don't want to do anything to it that I might not be able to reverse, so to speak. So I did my solo session upstairs in the dark room. That's the first place we went to. And I did see a shadow. Unfortunately, I didn't have any camera, so I really literally had my recorder and a cat ball, which is all the rage, which I kind of feel like I'm one of the people that kind of started it, because I started bringing them to different locations, and then all of a sudden those locations were like, oh, we have these cat balls, and it's like all of a sudden it just kind of blew up.
And they're just a little clear ball that if moved or touched, they will light up. Is
Yeah.
what she is referring to.
Yeah, it's just a motion activated cat toy.
If you watch our videos, you've seen it in them.
I mean, you literally can buy them on Amazon for like, I think they're like $3.
They're super cheap. Yeah, they're cheap.
Yeah, so I had my voice recorder, I had my cat ball. I'm sitting in a chair and I'm kind of positioned towards this one area where they kept saying that this guy likes to hang out in this corner, and you see him sometimes in this corner. So I'm like, well, I want to see him. So I sat there and I did see a shadow just kind of walk in front of me, probably about that pace. It didn't go really quick. It was just kind of like that, like someone just went kind of walking briskly in front of me, which was pretty interesting. I thought that was pretty cool. Unfortunately, there was a lot of talking in the background because you could hear the people that were downstairs.
Which is kind of irritating, especially if, I mean, again, I know it's true, but if they're going to upcharge you to do something like that, they could have, like, shut their mouths.
Yeah.
Like, if they know, like, this is a time we're doing solos, maybe don't have a conversation. Because there was one point where, like, someone was, like, pretty much screaming.
Yes.
And I actually was like, so that's what Kim said. Was like, well, I'll have to listen. I'm like, well, there's really no reason to, because unless it's literally something going, I'm a ghost in your recorder, like, you kind of have to throw that out.
Yeah.
And that's the biggest annoyance of public investigations, or one where there's more than, like, 5 people in a group is...
Yeah.
It's really hard to actually get a good controlled location, or like a good controlled session.
Yeah. It was disappointing because I thought for sure I would have gotten something, just because the way I was feeling, I felt like somebody was there for sure. I mean, I saw that shadow, but I also felt like someone was behind me. I felt like someone was in that corner that I was looking at.
Who knows if it wants to communicate too, though, you know, so.
Yeah. I mean, they had a bunch of other things. I had a very basic cat ball. Throughout the night, they had, like, everybody had all these, like, really souped up ITC things. Right. They had REM pods. They had all this stuff. Yes, the cat balls did do a lot of activity. Like, when we were doing the last group session down in the basement, the cat balls were going crazy. Like, literally, they were, like, all over the place, where, like, you couldn't even, like, bump it anywhere, and it was just lighting up. It was actually kind of cool that it was doing that. But I definitely would like to go back to this place. Yeah. It's interesting. Why schools and stuff like that are always haunted, I don't know. But it was definitely an interesting place. I'd like to get your feel on it, because...
Yeah, I mean, I would like to go there and, you know, and film there as well if they continue to do investigations there. I don't know for sure if they will or not. I mean, when you were there, did you feel like if it was like, you think it was more negative stuff? Do you think not? Did you get like any kind of like indication there personally?
The only negative I had was at the end of the night, we were standing outside just BSing. And this one guy that's there, that's like a regular, he like goes there all the time. He had a ghost box going that was in an old boom box, like 80s boom box. It was kind of cool. And he was talking to something through this ghost box that I don't think was human. The way he came off was very arrogant. He did not like women. He kept calling me names, very derogatory names. So surprisingly, he didn't call me the C word. I have that. We actually were at the Buffalo Terminal, and me and
place I didn't get to go.
A couple of my friends, Tina and Stephanie, we got called the C word. I'm sure you know what that is. Numerous times through the ghost box, and we were like,
I wish ghosts called me cool.
Yeah. But he did like say, you know, like some derogatory things, and it just felt uncomfortable, like the spirit there. Like I actually emphasized it a couple times because I always do this whenever I leave a location. I always say,
Please follow me home.
do not follow me home. You do not have permission to follow me home. You can go into the light or you can stay here, but you are not allowed to follow me home.
We should be like
I said it 3 times before I left this place. I said it in the building, I said it outside, and then I said it again as I was leaving again because I just felt like this guy was that kind of
Did it follow you home?
creaker. No,
Oh, okay.
thankfully. But that was the only time I really felt anything that was uncomfortable.
Do you think if we start taking like Dybbuk boxes places, like we can capture them like Pokemon?
Oh my god!
And then some of the Zach Bagans, and you can open up on like a midnight special on Halloween. And then maybe like Aaron or
Gotta
get possessed.
catch 'em all.
Yeah,
This is a shadow person in this ball.
yeah.
I named it Ghastly.
Ghastly, that's fun. Those ghost Pokemon, see?
Yeah.
I find it funny though, like that. So this guy. So wait. So I want to ask about this helmet. So he just made this himself. Then like this isn't something like he just kind of made it.
Yeah. I think he had seen it similar, like a similar thing somewhere else, and he wanted to see if he could,
That's interesting.
manipulate brainwaves.
I am curious if you're one of the few people that listen to this, then leave a link to like if there's a science behind what this thing is, if you know what it is she's talking about, because I'm curious. I mean, I by default want to just remark bullshit on it because it sounds.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. To manipulate brainwaves to make you more psychic, like.
Well, I guess a few psychic mediums that have actually used this, they said
Yeah, well.
that it was numerous ones though. That's the thing. That it's weird that they each would say something that was similar to this. They said that the noise was silenced after they used the helmet. If you're a psychic medium, you probably know what they're talking about. There's like for me, I have like this constant hum when I'm in a haunted locale, and I'm assuming that's because that's what I'm basically picking up on things. But I think that's what they said is that it basically was quiet. What are you doing? So I don't know. I mean, I was too scared to use it. Maybe one of these days
I don't
I'll
think
use
I'd put it on my head.
I'm just kind of...
I mean, if I don't even know what that thing is, like, I'm not putting it on my head. I'm going to get shocked or something.
That was my biggest worry, is what
Yeah.
if this thing malfunctions
It just zaps
and
you.
it just zaps me and I'm
Makes
just
you
like
an
a
invalid.
vegetable. Yeah, that's exactly what I thought, is like,
Yeah.
what if this thing zaps me
No,
and
thank
turns me
you.
into a vegetable? I don't...
What if it turns
3
me into a vegetable?
hours away from my home, like, what is gonna happen? Like,
Well, I mean, if it doesn't.
nothing.
Yeah, I don't think that part matters if it makes you a vegetable.
So all in all, I thought it was a really cool event. They raised a ton of money,
Well, that's
like
good.
$3,000, I believe they raised. A little
That's
bit
good.
over that,
That's
which is really awesome. So hopefully this will be a regular thing.
There should be more events like that. That would be nice. Mm-hmm. It should be like more. We've been looking at trying to go to different places, but there's just, I don't know, we haven't been able to find. There might be something in November, maybe, that we're doing.
Yeah.
It just seems like we ran out of time so quickly because now we're getting close to haunt season, and then obviously that's going to be doing haunts.
Yay.
We still aren't sure. We might go to Gettysburg again and do another thing there, or we might go to Kentucky for there. Wouldn't be able to investigate it, but Waverly Hills is having a haunted house this year, which looks fun. But then if we go up that way, there's Pennhurst, so I don't know. What do you think we should do? Person that's listening or viewing. Person. I mean, it'd be nice to do both, but there's only so much time. It's, to go all these places, only so much time and so much money.
Yeah.
It's about the thing about October is it's just like, like we go to all these places and like Christmas is like right around the corner after it ends.
Yep. You gotta save the money.
Yeah, I think there's not that many people I buy for, I guess.
Yeah,
but,
really, there is not
yeah,
anymore. Like, I have literally, like, 2 people.
Yeah, right? Yeah, I don't know. It's not a lot. So, I mean, spend most of my, because like when I used to work at my old job, we had like a Christmas club fund that we'd get paid out in like October to like hit. It was like a savings for buying stuff because they didn't pay us anything. And then I would get that and I would just spend it. It would always be spent on haunted houses. That's just what that money was spent on, which is funny because I never actually.
It's the Christmas fund for haunted house.
Yeah, it was all gone before even Christmas happened. But yeah, there's that. Kim went to a spooky place and I didn't get to go. Sad face, but hopefully next time. If you like just us talking about like the haunted place we did, because we did an episode like this on Randolph, but I think that's the only one. The other one we did where we like did a podcast as well as like an investigation thing, and like
yeah,
maybe we should do more. Maybe we should do more podcasts based on the investigations, and like if you actually do listen to this, it'd be great if you could share it.
Yes, please.
We don't get many podcast listeners. Sometimes the videos do okay, but they're some of our lowest videos, and we enjoy doing them. We want to keep doing them, but like.
If you have a friend that likes ghostly things and stuff like that, and you think they get a kick out of these podcasts and stuff, share them with them. You have a friend at work that likes haunted houses, share it. They might want to check out the haunted houses we talk about.
Or if you are an investigator or haunted house owner or something, and you want to set up like a time where we could like interview you for the podcast, because again, it's in video form as well. So there's video and podcast form. It would be over. Like line, you wouldn't have to like come to us or anything. Like
we do it through some sort of video conference.
Yeah, because the way our studio dungeon is, it's not really set up to interview people here. Like we could go to you, I guess, but because we've toyed around with the idea of doing like another haunt documentary as well. But like the first one that we did years ago, I don't even know how long ago that was. 5-6 years ago now we've done that.
Probably
it's been a minute, yeah. Which is also on the channel. You check that out.
Yes. Haunt Behind the Scare.
Mm-hmm.
Go to it. Watch it.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind doing a second one, but damn, that was a lot of work. That was a lot. There's a lot of people involved, a lot of contracts and stuff people signed, and yeah. But that being said, thank you much for watching, and we will see you guys in the next episode of this or whatever it is that you watch us. Like we said, we do lots of things, so... Thank you for being a person that watches or listens.
Thanks. Bye.